Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to say Kal Halal Yahweh, Well Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to Yakim's pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Just the other day, I don't know, if any brothers know about this, but just the other day I showed a picture to some of the Akims in our camp, and basically it said that TD Jakes has passed away, and at the age of 59 he died in his sleep or something like that. And at first, brothers were excited and were like, that's something that we got to drink to. That's the death that we got to drink to. Something to be happy about. But I'm pretty sure it's actually false. One of the brothers from the camp showed a video that showing that he's still alive. It's just a rumor out there, but it got me thinking, and the Spirit came on me to make a video about false prophets, because it's a beautiful thing when the Lord puts judgment on these guys, man, on all these false prophets that call themselves men of the Lord. It's a beautiful thing when the Lord starts to put judgment on them, starts to kill them and their families, because reason being is because these guys are creating an offense. These guys are coming against the gospel, the true word of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. And moreover, they're not just lying to the whole world about the scriptures, but they're lying to their own people. Most of them being Jakes, lying to their own people. Most of these pastors being Jake are lying to their own people and just following the instructions of the elite, the elite Edomites, and just basically going by their agenda, preaching whatever makes them money. Because church nowadays, unless it's the Church of GMS, which is the only true church, but church nowadays with these buildings are not just but a business. It's just another business where you can profit lots of money off of. In fact, I'll probably say it's one of the top 5 wealthiest businesses out there. Because this is going to state my fact right here. This is this website here. I just looked up on Google, wealthiest pastors in the world. First of all, there shouldn't even be that kind of category when it comes to true followers of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Because we're not going to be living nice. If you're a true follower, a prophet sent by the Lord and His Son, you're not going to be living in abundant with $55 million net worth, and yet be out here preaching the truth in the highways and byways. There's no way. It doesn't work that way. Especially when we're living. This is a man that has a net worth of $55 million is not living in hell. Let me tell you that right now. He is living in heaven. That's why the scripture says, "Rejoice ye heaven, and they that dwell therein." Basically, this is their time to live it up. Because guess what? These 2/3 are going to get destroyed when all hell breaks loose, and when it breaks loose soon. And you see, the 2/3 of Israel are not going to just die simply. They're going to die slowly. They're going to because they have to serve their punishment for all the wickedness that they've done, like we are doing right now. So this guy with a net worth of $55 million is not living in hell. He's not going through hell to push this word out, to push the truth out. He's not. Heck, he's not even pushing the truth, and that's why he has $55 million in his bank account. So I'm just going to go quickly through the top 5 richest pastors in the world, and you guys are going to be amazed at who is number 1 and seeing the net worth and such. So this is number 5, which is Enoch Adeboye. I can't pronounce his Nigerian name. I know that guy's Nigerian. So Enoch Adeboye with $55 million net worth claims to be a man of the Lord. Just little things on him. It says, although he may not be the richest man in Nigeria, this guy, I told you he was Nigerian. This guy's a Jake. The 74-year-old just might be one of the most influential. So he says, that's it really on him. There's another guy here named David Oyedepo. $150 million net worth, man. These people cannot be the followers of Yahushua. You can't tell me Yahushua, even though he was born rich, gave up his riches and became poor, but yet his followers are going to have $55 million in their bank account? That makes no sense. Logic can tell you that much. 150 mil. David Oyedepo. Okay, you have this guy says that. Let's see. It says add in 4 private jets at his disposal, and Oyedepo really does seem to have it all. This guy has 4 private jets. When you ever hear about the prophets of the Lord or the apostles with Yahushua having private jets or having private such abundance of transportation to different places? They walked everywhere they went. They even have places to stay. They would stay at a place for a couple of days and then stay at another place for a couple of days. When they went to keep the Passover with Yahushua, they didn't stay at their own places. They didn't do it at their own places. They did it at a servant's place, if I'm not mistaken, and kept it there. Yahushua was a man acquainted with grief and suffering. These guys are not acquainted with grief and suffering. With $55 million in the account in the bank, there's no way you're grieving over anything. Here's George Foreman, $250 million. Holding the See, this is funny to me, man, because these guys are nothing but demons, man. And most of these guys are Jakes. Esau's not even in the top 5. You know, you got one Edomite in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken, but most of these guys are Jakes. Showing you how wicked Israel is, man. You 2/3 are going to get your judgment. It's going to be a slow, painful judgment, too. Here's the Edomite, number 2, Pat Robertson, with $500 million. That's enough said right there. When it comes to pastors, one of the biggest names in the industries, and often the first that comes to mind, is Pat Robertson. And then you have this guy here, Edir Macedo. I can't pronounce that, but this guy's a Jake. It's probably some Latin. $1.1 billion. Oh my goodness. $1.1 billion net worth. Okay, ending our list with the richest pastors in the entire world takes us to Brazil. I told you it was a Jake. Brazil, where the famed evangelical leader and media mongrel Edir Macedo calls home. So he's a Jake. Number 1 richest pastor in the world is a Jake, with $1.1 billion net worth. It says Macedo has granted his $1.1 billion net worth and faces criticism over his spending with simple logic. If I preach prosperity, this is from his own word, if I preach prosperity and my clothes are ragged, who will follow me? You know, I can't help but laugh because you know what? These guys are. This is a carnal-minded statement, man. $1.1 billion justifies. This is how he justifies himself by having $1.1 billion and his spending habits. It says, "If I preach prosperity and my clothes are ragged, who will follow me?" So wait, did Yahushua have fancy clothes? Did the apostles have fancy clothes? No, they didn't. But Yahushua managed to have thousands of followers, which were really just the elect. You see, these guys are not. This is a carnal mind. They think you have to look pretty to get followers. First of all, you don't choose who follows you. You don't choose who gets to be saved. It's Yahweh Shai. It's Yahweh who chooses who is saved. Okay, who chooses who comes to the truth. All you are is just a mouthpiece. You speak whether you're wearing ragged ass clothes or the nicest clothes on the planet. You speak, and then the people who hear the word that's speaking coming out of your mouth, they hear the word of the Lord and are of the elect, they will adhere to you even if you're wearing poor clothes. It doesn't matter. So this is how you know this guy does not understand the scriptures, man. He's a carnal-minded man just by this quote alone, but yet is able to revenue $1.1 billion net worth from people that follow him and see him being the man of the Lord. That's insane. Insane. Okay, I got 3 scriptures here that I'm going to go into. Basic scriptures that we've all read before. Just want to expound on these false prophets, and how that this false prophets is a big part of why, another big part of why Jake goes off. Because you have people of Israel who are supposed to lead Israel in the right way, right direction, but they lead Israel in the wrong direction. Okay, so this is 1 John 4:1. And it says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they may be of Yahweh. How do you try the spirit? By asking them questions. Okay, conversing with them. If these guys are men of the Lord and they're called themselves pastors, which is a high rank, which just means a prophet, they should be able to answer every question according to the Bible. But most of these pastors, when you ask them questions that contradict their teaching, they either get pissed off at you and kick you out of church, which happened to me personally, or they beat around the bush. They tiptoe, dance around the subject instead of getting to the point. The scriptures say, "Let your yea be yea and your nay be yea, your nay be nay." Okay. Prove all things, and you're supposed to answer questions when ready, or at any given time. So it says, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So most of the people that call themselves men of the Lord are actually false prophets. Most of them. Because only a small percent of the people on the planet that call themselves prophets of the Lord are actually prophets of the Lord. Small number. Hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh. So you have to know the spirit of Yahweh. Because if you don't know the spirit of Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, and yet you go try the man, and you hear someone who's speaking, claiming to be a prophet of the Lord, how are you going to tell if he's a prophet of the Lord or not if you don't even know the Lord's spirit, his characteristics, what he preaches? Okay, so it says, hereby know ye the spirit of the Spirit of God, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Every spirit that confesses Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, is come in the flesh, is of Yahweh. Now, this scripture is deep because you can't read this in English and think, okay, so every man that confesses Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. No, that's not what the Bible is telling you, because this book was originally written in Hebrew. Originally written in Hebrew. In the Hebrew, you don't have J, E, or U in there. So this name wouldn't be there. Okay? You would have to, in the Hebrew, you would see, hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh. God's not there either. You would see Allah. Okay? Because the New Testament was also written in Hebrew first before it was translated into Greek and Latin. So you would see Allah, every spirit that confesses that Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai is what you see there, is come in the flesh of Yahweh. Is come in the flesh is of Yahweh. That's how, and these guys don't know the name. So if you come across, for you guys that still go to church following your pastor, and he's teaching about Jesus Christ but not saying the name, I want you to go to your pastor and ask them the name of Yahweh Shai. They're not going to know anything of that name because they're not really, the Lord's not actually dealing with them at all. Okay? Because Yahweh Shai is the one that came down in the flesh, not Jesus Christ. Okay? It says, verse 3, and every spirit that confesses not Yahweh Shai Mashiach is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which is against Christ, meaning which is Latin for Christos, which means anointed. Okay, so against the anointed, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay, so just simply means against Yahweh Shai. Anti meaning against. Okay, so it says, and this is the spirit of Antichrist, wherefore ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is in the world. So even back then they had false prophets, and just like you do now, have false prophets. Okay, verse 4: ye are of Yahweh little children, and have overcome them. Why have we ever overcome these false prophets? Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, beginning with our apostles and elders on down, have bestowed unto us the truth about his knowledge, the truth of his word. Because nothing can prevail the truth. The truth is the best wisdom that any man can have, is the truth. Okay, because nothing can come against the truth. You understand? Because greater is he that is in you, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, if you're of the elect. Okay? Because greater is he that is in you. Why is he greater than all these false prophets with $1.1 billion net worth, $150 million net worth, $500 million net worth? Why is the Lord and his son greater than all these men? That he is in than he that is in the world. Okay, these are these false prophets that are in the world. Why is he greater than them? Because he is the truth. Yahweh Shai is the truth. That's that simple. He doesn't have to be filthy rich to overcome these men. He is just the truth, and the truth resides in him. So therefore, by default, he already overcomes these men, and him residing in us, supping within us, that are of the hopeful elect. Because of that, we overcome those guys as well. Alright? And we see it every day when people try to come up against us in the comment board, or when you have big names that try to come against the apostles, and the apostles end up wiping the floor with them, man. Because they have the truth. They are of the world. Therefore speak they of the world. Like I told you that man's quote. This was of the world. This is a quote that's of the world. If I preach prosperity and my clothes are ragged, who will follow me? That's a carnal-minded statement, man. Because prosperity, when we preach of prosperity, we preach of prosperity in the spirit, the spiritual powers, the kingdom, not things that you need to buy money with, like clothes and shoes and jets and all that vain nonsense. It says, they are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. Hence his net worth being $1.1 billion. If the world never heard that man, he wouldn't have a congregation in a church. Hence, he wouldn't have no money. But now he has his net worth alone tells you the masses listen to him. That's simple. Okay? 6th verse. We are of Yahweh. He that knoweth Yahweh heareth us. That's simple. He that knoweth Yahweh heareth us. Because even some of us that are in this truth now, when we're in the world, we didn't know exactly. We had zeal, but not according to knowledge. For example, I knew that some of these pastors were going off because just something about them, the fact that they were always filthy rich, and that when you asked them questions about the scriptures that you had, they would always beat around the bush, showing you they actually didn't know they actually didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't have the answers. Because if they did, they would just point blank tell you the truth. Bang, this is what it is. You see? So, that's how I knew they were going off. But when you come into truth, you have a better understanding as to what they're going off on. And you can actually go up to them and can converse with them and actually debate with them and prove them wrong. You see? So it says, he that is not of Yahweh heareth not us. Hence why you can't choose who comes into his truth. There's no point in bending your neck backwards to just break down this truth to someone. We're damn near, near the end. We don't have time to sit and break down the scriptures for days and weeks for someone who's not trying to listen. Okay, you bring the truth to them, and you bring it to them in sincerity. And if they don't get it, then they don't get it. It wasn't of them. Well, the Lord didn't have them to be of the elect. It's that simple, man. That's why this thing is, you can't get emotional about it. You got to stay within the spirit. I used to be like that. When I first came in, I got emotional about it, and I would spend days, weeks, months even trying to break down this truth to my family members and close friends of mine, and they just wouldn't get it. But, after being in this thing for 3 years now, which is still, I'm still a babe, 3-4 years, but I actually finally understand that you can't force this thing on people. This is not something you force on people. If the Lord has that person to be of the elect and to listen to this truth, they will hear it right away. It's that simple. It's a simple thing. It's nothing complicated about it. So it says, hereby know we the spirit of the truth, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and the spirit of error. So we can tell the difference. Hereby know we the spirit of truth. We can tell the spirit of truth, and we can tell the spirit of error. So when we're out there on the highways and byways, and people come up to us, we can tell whether they're sincere or not, whether they have that sincere spirit of the truth or whether they have the spirit of error. Right away we can tell that because we have the truth. It's that simple. Matthew 7 and 15 goes on to say, just 2 more scriptures and I'm going to close up here. Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets, which come in sheep's clothing. Okay, so they come like they're sincere. Because this thing gets deep now. Okay, because you have pastors who can disguise themselves, people who can disguise themselves in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravaging wolves. A perfect example is these men that came into GMS and that are now fell out of GMS, fall to truth. Well, guess what? When they came into sheep's clothing. Okay, they were undercover. They came in as sheep's clothing, but inwardly, in their hearts, in their minds, they were ravaging wolves. You see? That's why the scripture said, trust not thy brother, because also, man, you don't know who is dealing with what demons on them, man. You don't. Now, don't get me wrong, there's brothers who prove their love towards you, their brotherhood towards you through their actions. And there's only so much you can do with that. So if they're proving it to you with their actions, then that's it. But there's some shady people in GMS, and the Lord is revealing them, and and the Lord is sifting them out. But you got carnal people saying that, well, you see, now you had shady people in GMS, which shows you that GMS, all of GMS must be shady. They clearly don't know the scriptures. Because guess what? One of Yahushai's followers was a shady man. And Yahushai is the son of the Lord. And the one man that he trusted, or the one man that he chose to be an apostle or a disciple of him, a follower, actually ended up betraying him and getting him killed. But does that mean Peter and the rest of the apostles were wicked? No. It just means that's what you have in this thing, man. This is how wicked this world is. This is what happens. You have people who will infiltrate a righteous group, or will infiltrate the truth, not into truth, but will infiltrate our camp, GMS, and will try to come in as sheep's clothing, but inwardly they're ravaging wolves. And guess what? We don't get emotional about it because the Lord is going to reveal them anyways. This is of the Lord. Because in the end of the day, it's the Lord who's in complete control. The Lord and His Son are in complete control. They know why they bring. Because some people are brought into this truth and then spit it out because they're there to be made as an example. There's so much reasons why this kind of stuff happens, man. But we don't bother ourselves with that because guess what? Everything is of the Lord. It's all by the Lord, and the Lord's controlling everything. So there's nothing to really be feared, to be emotional about. All we gotta do is keep looking forward and keep trucking and keep doing this truth, keep doing this work. Beware of false prophets, which come come to you in sheep's clothing, but are ravaging, but inwardly they are ravaging wolves. All right. This is 2 Peter 2:1. My last scripture. It says, "But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you," which we had false teachers among GMS who taught, like for example, the flat Earth doctrine. That was false teaching. Those were false teachers. And you had people not just GMS, but people who men who called themselves Israel, that teach that there's mermaids and unicorns in the scriptures, which is complete buffoonery to even teach that. All right, false teachers among you, who privately shall bring damnable heresies, like the flat Earth doctrine. Like having mermaids in there, like for example, basically there's no such thing as Gentile Israelites. Cornelius is an Edomite. That's a damnable heresy. He's not an Edomite. He's an Israelite. Okay. Another thing, you got pastors who accept the homosexuals coming into the churches. That's a damnable heresies. You got now they're coming up with homosexual Bibles for homosexuals. That's damnable heresies, man. Like you're gonna like there's a book on how homosexuals shall live, and the Lord is gonna write. The Lord has a Bible for them. Are you crazy? There's the Lord who said that they're an abomination, they should be put to death. So why would He have a Bible for them? That's foolery, man. And those people who do that deserve death. It says, even denying the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, that brought them. Does Nate denies the Lord? How does he deny the Lord? By the name. The man denies the Lord every day. Not just by the name, but these guys deny the Lord by their actions. Every day they deny the Lord. Alright? Says, and bring up themselves swift destruction. Bring upon themselves swift destruction. So that's all they're doing, man. That's why we're not, all I do is put up curses on you guys, man. On you niggas, man. That's what you guys are. Niggas. I just put up curses on you guys because you're nothing but just devils, man. Demons bringing up, and you're just gonna end up bringing upon yourself swift destruction. Okay, so that's it on that. I hope this was edifying to you brothers, and to you young brothers who are following GMS. Just remember, man, these passes that you see on TV, this is just top 5. It actually goes up to 100, top 100. So you got people, you even got Paula White, $5 million, but these guys are not men of the Lord, man. Okay, the real men of the Lord begin with the apostles of Great Millstone, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramlab, so on, the elders as well. On down to the brothers who are sincerely pushing this truth and who are pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Out there week in and week out, in season, out of season, on the highways and byways. Those are the true men of the Lord. Alright? So with that, I'm going to close up. And I'm going to say, Ka Halal Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the also great millstone. A salutation to Yakim pushing this word in true sincerity.